Hi, so glad to be here this afternoon to share with you some my personal journey in Cannes and the my experience and the learnings I've had about Cannes Lion Festival of Creativity. So my talk is as simple as this: that to succeed at Cannes, you need to think about changing the world, and by changing the world, we want you to really do that by doing great work, talking about it, because of course you're in PR, so this is what you're good at, this is what you're specialist at, and by doing great work, talking about it, you can change the world. And by the way, have a good chance of breaking through at the Cannes Lion Festival of Creativity. Okay, so what is Cannes and where is it anyway? So I'm just going to flash up the next slide. Okay, this is Cannes. So for many years, as you can maybe tell by my accent, I lived in London, which was just 2 hours away from Cannes, and I never went there, and I never wanted to go there. I had no interest in going to Cannes. It was only when I came to Manila, 18 hours and 35 minutes away, that I thought I really wanted to be there. And this is the nature of Cannes. Cannes is a kind of global marketplace of ideas. It's where the world comes together to evaluate, what's good, what's trending, what's hot, what makes the future of advertising. And the further away you are from the traditional centers of things like London and New York, the more important it is to make an impact there. Okay, so when I asked my boss, and this was a long time ago, but let's say back in '97, I said, what's Cannes like? And he said, Cannes is pretentious, it's ruinously expensive. I'll be there every year as usual. So he was always there, and I thought, why do you go if it's so expensive and so horrible? And so I said, okay, well, look, can you recommend me a cheap hotel to stay? He said he'd never stayed in a cheap hotel, but he sent me the details of a cheap hotel. It was a 2-star hotel, and we had one entry in the show, which I'm going to show you on the next slide. And so in my first year there, we may have been staying in a 2-star hotel, but we got one short list. And this is I believe, was the first short list by the Philippines at Cannes. And it was for my old agency, Ogilvy, back in 1997. It was this little spot for Kimberly Clark.
I'm happy again. Huggies Ultra Trim Diapers. They're the only diapers with a leak lock system. In the middle for girls, up front for boys. For outstanding leakage protection anytime. Just singing and dancing in the rain.
Okay, so we got lucky. We got a shortlist, because a shortlist in film is quite hard to get. We didn't realize at the time. And that was our first year. And I went there with my wife, Angel, and actually wife-to-be at that point. And it was in 1997. She's now the publisher and editor-in-chief of Adobo magazine. And this was our first time. And it was we don't know if there were any Philippine delegates before us, but this was the time we went. And what happened next is that we kept going back over the next 10 years. And 10 years later, in 2007, the Philippines won its first Gold Lion. So this is this is when you go up on stage, you get a Gold Lion, and the guy on the left holding the flag is Pepito Olarte from the Philippine Daily Inquirer, who were the Cannes reps at that time. In the middle is Tai Guan Hin from JWT Southeast Asia, who was picking it up on behalf of JWT Philippines, and it was for a radio campaign for Lotus Spa, which was done by Tin Sanchez and Brandy Tan, and Dave Ferrer at JWT. So this was a kind of historic moment, the first time there was a Philippine Gold Lion winner. And by coincidence, I was also the jury head at that time, and I was really pleased to see a winner from the Philippines coming through. I think the guy on the right is, I don't know who he is. Anyway, lost to history. That's who these people were. And then over time, we started seeing more delegates, more winners. Here, this was the Philippine delegation in 2012. There's a lot of well-known faces in the ad industry. If you can spot them, there's Porsche from TBWA, there's Merly, there's I think there's Gary and Ray from Ray Tempo, Gary Amantes. So the whole, this was the size of the delegation, and each year up until I guess 2019, there's been more and more people going and more winners. And in 2014, this was a big historic moment when DM9 Naima Sofu won the first Grand Prix for the Philippines in mobile, and this is for the Smart Textbooks campaign. Again, if you want to see any of these, I'm sure you can search them on YouTube and find Smart Textbooks. This was a way of using SIM cards to store educational lessons and play them out on old phones. And I guess the up-to-date version will be is what we've been going through in the pandemic, with kids learning on smartphones and tablets. And then the following year, we did a campaign. My agency did a campaign for Pantene, which had the effect. It was a local campaign, but it got global PR. And this was a part of its success, was that this was something we did for the Philippines, but it got picked up and shared around the world. And I'll just play you the case study for this.
We have news tonight about women in the workplace.
The double standards women face in the workplace, they're being tackled in a powerful commercial that has gone viral.
It's hit a nerve, so we set out to find the truth. Are women who act exactly the same as men seen differently?
This was the very same words that were used when feminism arose in the 1960s, but nobody would have put it in an ad.
And it shows women described negatively for the very same things that men are often praised for. So why is this ad generating so much buzz and so much praise?
Perhaps the last line of the Pantene ad sums it up best. Don't let labels hold you back. Be strong and shine.
The film got over 46 million views, the most ever for any local commercial, and achieved the best ever view rate across any P&G ad, and one of the highest in the world in 2014, gaining over 1 billion impressions.
It even got a personal endorsement from Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg.
She posted the ad on Facebook, writing, "This is one of the most powerful videos I've ever seen."
We created additional content for TV and online that used two of the country's leading celebrities, which brought the issue home to a broader audience, and created unique social media posts and outdoor ads. The brand saw its first significant gain in value share after over 8 months of continuous decline, and showed a significant increase in brand equity. The Huffington Post said, "We have to applaud a piece of advertising that calls attention to the gender double standard and inspires important conversations." While Wall Street Journal said, "There's not a bottle of shampoo in the whole Pantene commercial, but if the objective is to spread a message, it seems to be working." LUK asks, "Is this the best hair ad ever?"
I agree with every bit of it, and I hope they start showing it here in the States.
Wow. That's exactly how I feel.
Okay, so this is, part of the journey with Cannes. Some of the biggest things we did got nothing, and when we entered the It's More Fun in the Philippines campaign, it got literally zero, despite winning lots of local awards. It won effectiveness awards, it won all kinds of awards, but nothing in Cannes. And on the other hand, some of the smallest things we did got something. And when we designed the donation can For Child Hope, it received a mention in the Design Lions. And so, my personal experience has been that when you keep the idea pure and single-minded, then that helps juries around the world to understand it. And last year we developed this product called the dissolving bottle, which is a shampoo bar that dissolves and uses no plastic. And this was, again, won a lion for us. And again, it's just the sheer purity and simplicity of it. So just a bit of background on Cannes State of Play in 2021. The APAC region as a whole got 119 lions. And as you can see here, there's 3 markets that really dominate the list in terms of who's winning what. And Australia far out in front with 29, India with 22, Japan with 14, and everybody else on single digits. Philippines 2, one of which was that one you've just seen, and the other one was the RC Cola spot by Giggle, which also got a bronze in film. So this is the overall picture, and this is the challenge that still faces us. We're still faced with the challenge of getting Filipino ideas out there, getting the country's creativity and ingenuity recognized on the world stage, and making sure that our stories get told. So this is the brutal truth. Now, when you look at what has won in the last 2 years, and this is for Cannes 2021, there were 2 years worth of work, 28 categories, 43 Grand Prix were awarded. They tended to fall into these categories, and I'll show you what these colors mean on the next slide. So these are all the cases of different things that won Grand Prix in different categories. And somebody analyzed them. This is a guy called Patrick Costa from the Caples Award, analyzed what won what, and he broke it down into there's a whole track which is about the environment. That's the one in green. Then there's a track that is about purpose and values. There's a general sort of category about purpose and values. There's another track about health and wellness. There's a whole distinct area devoted to gender equality and things that help fight against discrimination of any kind connected to gender. And then there's this other area of Black Lives Matter, which again was so significant and so important in the last couple of years from the States. So if you see the overall picture, this is where it is. And something like 80% of all the big winners incorporate purpose in the messaging. It is not about merely interrupting people's viewing enjoyment on YouTube with messages. It's about doing something that embraces embraces purpose and contributes to society. Okay, so I'm going to show you some lessons that we can gain from some of this work, some local examples, some international examples, and I'm going to show as many as I can until we run out of time here. So I hope they play well on your screen where you're seeing them. If you have problems, I'll try and give you the search terms, and you can search them later and watch them. So my first lesson is really to be granular, by which I mean pay attention to the detail in which with which the idea is executed. It's not enough just to have an idea, just to talk about an idea. You have to see it through to its conclusion, and you have to see to make sure that it fulfills the promise. So there's a case from Nike here, which was executed in BGC. It was executed right here in Manila, but it was done by a regional agency wanting to get across this idea of personal personal training, personal fulfillment, and it was for Nike. And I'll show you this one.
Running is in Nike's DNA. It's at the heart of the brand, so we wanted to create an experience to challenge the concept of the run itself.
超正確な RFID システムを用いて1周目のラップタイムを測ります。2周目より LED スクリーンにアバターが出現。アバターは1周目のラップタイムで並走し、アバターに勝つと新しく更新されたベストタイムでアバターが走り、自分の最高記録をさらに超えられるよう自分に挑戦することができます。
Competition, because you're not just beating a light or your watch, you're beating almost like an actual person.
Okay, I'm gonna move on because we've got limited time, but you can see the idea there. So the next lesson is about embracing your identity. Don't hide who you are. Don't try to make things pretty or something. It's about really showing the world what's unique and special about where you're from. And the next brief is for a real estate developer who wanted to celebrate its 25th anniversary. And I'll show you how they did that. And it's from Thailand.
โดยธรรมชาติวัยรุ่นเนี่ยเขามีความสนใจอยากจะออกมาแสดงหรือออกมาใช้ความสามารถของเขาแต่ว่าเวลาที่เขาไม่มีพื้นที่แบบนี้เนี่ยสิ่งที่เราจะเห็นเลยเขาจะกลับมาอยู่กับตัวเองและอาจจะเริ่มอยู่กับอะไรที่เขาสนใจเฉพาะมากๆซึ่งมีโอกาสที่จะมีปัญหาตามมาได้
ก็มันมีหลายกลุ่มอะพี่กลุ่มแบบไปแว้นมั่งไปมั่วสุมกันมั่งอะพี่
วัยรุ่นในชุมชนแออัดก็ต้องการพื้นที่ที่จะแสดงออกอย่างสร้างสรรค์เหมือนวัยรุ่นทุกๆคนแต่พื้นที่ที่เขาอยู่อาศัยกลับไม่เอื้ออำนวยไม่มีเชฟไม่มีรูปทรง
ไปใส่ในพื้นที่ที่ทุกคนมองข้ามเราก็จะได้พื้นที่ใช้สอยใหม่ๆที่มีประโยชน์กับชุมชนแล้ว
ก็เป็นครั้งแรกที่เคยเจอแบบสนามแบบนี้ตอนแรกผมก็นึกว่าเฮ้ยมันจะเล่นได้ไงวะแบบสนามมันมีบิดเบี้ยวอย่างเงี้ยพอได้เล่นมันแบบรู้สึกแปลกแบบมันได้เล่นแบบหลายมุมหลายที่อะไรเงี้ย
ผมชอบครับพวกเพื่อนผมก็ชอบกันทุกคนเลยครับ
อยู่แฟลตเดียวกันเราไม่เคยเจอกันเลยแล้วก็เลยมาเจอกันที่สนาม
เพราะว่าเด็กคือผู้ใหญ่ในวันข้างหน้าการที่ว่ามีสนามให้เขาออกกำลังกายมันจะลดปัญหาไปได้เยอะครับพ่อแม่เขาก็ลดความเป็นห่วง
ไม่ใช่แค่เรื่องของเด็กและเยาวชนนะคะมันจะส่งผลต่อผู้คนที่อยู่โดยรอบพื้นที่เล็กๆที่ถูกออกแบบนี้ด้วยค่ะ
ถ้าเราให้ความสำคัญกับพื้นที่ที่ไร้ประโยชน์พื้นที่ในชีวิตของทุกคนก็จะไม่มีคำว่าเปล่าประโยชน์
Okay, so what I like about this is they're not just saying, we care, 25 years, we serve the country. They're actually doing something real to demonstrate that care and demonstrate the involvement in the community and, building on Thai love of football. So, again, I'm going to be quite quick on this. There's a case about the point of being topical last year, where there was a real need to get people to register to vote in Chicago and around America, actually, but they used the signboards that were that were used to, I guess, in the protests on the streets. They needed to, people spray painted the boards, and then they turned those same boards into voter registration booths, so that people could, turn around that idea as the boards have changed, taking Black voices from the streets to the polls. I won't show you this video. I recommend you search that one, Boards of Change. And also, I'll play you a bit of this one. This is a Mexican. In Mexico, they have an issue with, well, like in many countries, the issue with the fear that journalists have when they tell the truth, or they write things that could upset powerful people. They get threatened. And in Mexico, they use the power of deep fake technology to counter that. I'll play you this one.
Y han pasado más de 3 años del asesinato del periodista Javier Valdés. Hoy volvió. Vea de qué manera.
Señor presidente Andrés Manuel López Obrador, el 15 de mayo de 2017 fui asesinado por órdenes de alguien a quien no le gustó lo que publiqué. Pero aquí estoy, como me ve, hablándole.
No solo son buenos periodistas, son prudentes. Y si ustedes se pasan, pues ya saben, ¿no? Lo que sucede, ¿no?
Yo no tengo miedo, señor presidente, porque no me pueden matar 2 veces.
De verdad, fue una sacudida la campaña el día de hoy. Ha sido de verdad una revolución.
Los periodistas asesinados no se pueden olvidar. Tenemos que seguir exigiendo justicia.
Porque esos reporteros siguen hablando.
So the other point I'll make is about investing in your story, and partly this means taking the time and money to tell the story well, but also to put don't be afraid to commit the budget of the campaign to bring the idea to life, to make purpose real. And so it's not just about talking about purpose, but it's actually embodying and living the purpose. And here's the outdoor Grand Prix this year from Cannes. Is a case for Heineken. And so basically what they did is they paid bars directly for the ad space so they could stay open. I'm going to play the case video for this.
One of the hardest things in my life was to see our bar shut and our doors closed.
About 60% of closed businesses that won't be reopening.
Experts say it could take 4 to 5 years to recover.
campaña que piensa de verdad en el hostelero.
Es como empezar de cero.
Okay, so paying bar owners for media space on their bars is a fantastic way to directly support the customers that that are the long-term future of your business. So this is very much a sustainable and workable kind of campaign that isn't. It's not just about altruistic giving. It's not just about giving money away. It's about investing in your whole supply chain. So I have one more I'm going to show you before I make some concluding points, and this is to do with the Effectiveness Grand Prix for 2021. And so to win the Effectiveness Grand Prix, you needed to win a previous year. So this was the Dream Crazy campaign for Nike, and it won the Effectiveness Grand Prix in 2021, which means it was judged to be the most cost-effective, high-performing campaign in the world over this period. So I'm going to play you this one.
Several people posting videos burning Nike shoes.
Nike is running straight into a political controversy.
People are so angry they're burning their own shoes.
Colin Kaepernick refused to stand during the national anthem, taking a knee to protest police brutality.
Nike revealed Colin Kaepernick as the face of its latest marketing campaign.
Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Is Nike taking a risk?
I think they're taking a stand.
Tonight, the first game of the new season, and Nike is running an ad featuring Colin Kaepernick.
If people say your dreams are crazy, good. Stay that way.
Most of this country was talking about this last night at their dinner table.
And I'm never buying another Nike product again.
Nike's stock today dropping 3%.
Who's going to win this cultural showdown of standing for the anthem? We are. Check this out. I went out today and bought me some Nikes.
Oh, yeah. I want to applaud Nike. Speak up. We're right behind you.
This thing is bigger than just the United States, and I think it resonates throughout the world.
Kaepernick asegura que es
Colin Kaepernick se opio su estará 30 años de su lema Just Do It.
Nike stock reached an all-time high last Friday.
I'm gonna buy more Nikes now.
Nike's on the right side of history.
So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
So this is something that most brands would find incredibly difficult to do. This is essentially alienating 30% of your market and having them burn your products and hate you, but inspiring equal and even stronger brand love in the 70% of the people who think what you're doing is right and who believe in you and believe in your products. And as we can see, the results. Increased brand value by $6 billion. I mean, it's incredible, but also incredibly brave and difficult and tough to do. So that's what you get when you get it right, and when you are brave. But this is the peak of, I guess, what we can do in our business. So really, I'm going to be as simple as I can possibly be. We need to aim to do something great. We need to talk about it, and we've never. I think you've seen in all these case films how important PR is, how important it is to get the world talking about it. How this is, the earned media on all these cases is a crucial element to it. So I think the PR element in this is massively important. And, advertising agencies, clients, PR companies need to work together to maximize the value of the great work once it's done. And then the whole point of this, after you've done the great work and talked about it, is to change the world. And that's what we're here to do. We are here to make the world a better place. We're here with the power of our platforms, with the power of our budgets, the power of our brands, to change the world for people and make things better. So that's the big ask. That's what we can all do, and that's in the end what we will get rewarded for doing. But we need this is the thing that will get you there. Changing the world will get you recognized by the world, and eventually get you one of those little metal toys to put on your shelf. So that's it from me. I'm looking forward to all your questions, and I'm gonna hand over now. So I think I can see Richard on the screen. I think Norman might be there. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you very much.